نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Dear respected brothers, sisters, children all around the globe, I welcome you with the Islamic greeting. May peace and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be upon all of you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today's topic is a very important topic. I haven't done much preparation for it, but then I wanted to discuss this because the time is running short and then people are all over the place. They're not planning, they're not carefully, working towards achieving a better tomorrow, because the coming days are going to be very difficult. So today's topic I'm going to be discussing is around what is expected to happen in the next 2 to 3 years. I don't want to say 1 year because I'll be really quick, because developments can happen and things can change, delays can take place. But then when I'm talking about this topic, I'm talking about the expected wars that are going around the world, and how, even if the wars didn't take place, how it is going to affect us globally when it comes to businesses, when it comes to inflation, which is the rise in the pricing of the products, the cost of living, etc. So first of all, brothers and sisters, think very carefully where we stand today. Now, I need to draw a bit of a map in your heads, in your brains, to be able to understand, to make you understand what current dynamics we are facing. The first and the foremost, the trickiest challenge for the mankind and humanity is the risk of the Third World War, which is on the brink, literally at the verge. The world is on the verge of this war. The developments that are happening in Europe are substantial, such as the NATO, which is defending the borders of Europe against Russia. I'm going to be very unbiased and very balanced in my approach when I discuss these things. I'm not siding with any party, any military, any country, because for an analysis and analytical mindset, and for an analyst, it's important to be impartial. It's important to be weighing the pros and cons properly in a way that's justified and that's equally showing both sides of the picture. So first of all, what's happening in Europe is quite dangerous. Europe is defending against Russia, because Russia has been poked in the past 1 decade, which is the last 10 years, and it's been going on for a very long time. It's a power struggle. So the West want to win over the Central East Asia and Asia, basically Russia, because you have emerging powers and emerging economies such as India, such as Pakistan, such as Russia, such as Iran and Afghanistan. If you even look at Afghanistan situation at the moment, since the takeover has happened, the economy has gone up so much that it's amazing to see how well the government is managing over there, and the people, how hard work the citizens of Afghanistan is. So it's very important to understand that these economies are taking a shape which will uplift the Central East Asia, South Asia, and these parts of Asia, which is in total the whole of Asia. And the trading, there's a risk for the European countries and there's a risk for the American states to, if the Asia takes over, then the world will be all relying on Asia, and the monetary changes will be taking place, where the new currencies will be coming in forward into the future in terms of trading globally. Now, as you can also say, that Chinese yuan, we can already say that the Chinese yuan has been a part of discussion for such a long time. Now, it's not impossible, and it's not something that we can't expect that can happen very soon, in a very soon future, in the very near future. So we need to be expecting and seeing how this is going to be impacting us in Europe, in Britain, and in other parts of the world. So for people who live in Asia, my suggestion is that, and my analysis is that, they will be well off, because at the moment they are struggling. They will be well off if the wars didn't take place. However, I see a bigger picture, which is, as soon as there's a threat of the markets taking over in Asia, Western countries will not be able to hold back. They will eventually attack the Asian countries one by one to be able to be remaining dominant in the world. And this will result in the big war, which is Armageddon. You can call it Al-Malhama, Malhamatul Uzma, which is the Third World War. And as you know, I keep everything to the Islamic scriptures. In a hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon the mightiest Prophet, and the leader of the prophets and the seal of the prophets, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who said in most of the hadiths, in Sahih and Da'if, and in some of the hadiths which are Hasan, that these times will come to being where there'll be a great war, and that great war will take a shape in the times of tribulation and trials. So we are standing on those, brothers and sisters, we're standing on those times where the tribulation and the trials are many. And it's important to understand that the world, what it's facing today, has never faced before. We are at the devastated point where the technology has taken so far ahead in terms of people not socializing at all. People have become robotic, and people are stressed out. The mental illnesses are increasing, and these things are impacting societies, and people are bound to be working for organizations where they have no time for themselves or their families. So it's already impacted. And my prediction is, which could be wrong, could be right, is that this year we are expecting for a very big shift in the world where the Third World War will be started. Now, that war will take 2 to 3 years. By the time it warms up, by the time it takes a shape all around the world in a way that certain countries will be dominant, the others will be giving up. And we don't know, and I don't want to say which countries will be which, but remember one thing, that the Prophet ﷺ said to the believers that do not take part in those wars where the power struggle is taking place, such as the hadith about the gold, mountain of the gold coming out of the river Euphrates, Darya Furat, river Euphrates near Iraq or Bayt al-Maqdisi. And then that belt, if the mountain of gold is seen, just stay away from it, because 99 out of 100 armies will be destroyed. 99 out of 100 people will be destroyed, something like that. So it's important to understand that we stay away from this power struggle. I interpret the hadith in a way, it has so many meanings. One is that the most beautiful meaning of this hadith is that we need to be refraining and staying back from all this power warfare between the European and between the Western and the Asian countries, and we should be in a defensive mode. So that's one thing, a point to be taken. Now, another thing I'll tell you, brothers and sisters, it's very important to make a note that how do we survive? And this is going to be in my next 2 minutes of discussion. How do we survive in these scenarios? My biggest suggestion to everybody, whoever is listening to my video, is to start saving up within this 1 year and invest it in the next 12 months. Do not delay it. Invest in the livestock, invest in the farming, invest in places where there are higher altitudes, and have a backup plan for yourself in case you don't have anywhere to live. At least you have a little hut or somewhere that you and your family can be supported, and you can do your own agriculture, farming and livestock, and you can survive and self-sustain yourself, because the days that are looking ahead of us are going to be very difficult. Should a war break out, you're not going to have time. So the best thing is right now, whoever belongs to whichever country, if you are in Britain, you're born and bred and raised up, then you look for places which are isolated, away from the cities. And I would recommend, as I've said in my previous videos, that the best places are, I'm from Himalayas. If you need any support from me, just let us know and be part of our community. But also what's important is that you can go to places where the chances of war are minimal. So the highest of the altitude, where they are away from the city, so you can live a peaceful and sound life. Now, if this doesn't happen and the wars didn't take place, at least you'll have somewhere to retire or somewhere to actually have a nice holiday in a year. Once let's say you're working really hard in America, UK, or wherever, then you wanted to have a nice holiday. Instead of going and booking a hotel, you have your own little place, a nice, good-looking villa, or like a nice resort, or like a nice little hut where you can go and retire, or you can have holiday with your family, friends, and children. So this is very important, and take my message as clear, because we need to start working on the communities where they are smaller communities and they're self-sufficient with all of their businesses locally manufactured. Do not rely on any cities, any of the cities around you, because when the wars do happen, then these cities will be devastated. So this is my greatest of the suggestion. Do not delay it. Take my words seriously, because these words are backed up by the hadith and a lot of the ayats of Quran. If you do proper study of Surah Al-Kahf and other parts of the Quran, you will understand that the day will come, and then the signs of the day are explained in the hadith, based on which I'm actually giving this my suggestion. And I would expect that everybody starts making the effort. If someone needs any help or any advice or guidance, you contact me, and I'll be able to share with you my personal details, and we can discuss more in detail. In the videos, you can only do much and enough. So I hope you've enjoyed this video of today and you've learned something from it and you've taken something away. And I hope you can start working on it, because it's not the matter of, saving millions of pounds. Sometimes it's all about saving £200 on a side and then investing in something that will help you tomorrow. So when it comes to the people who are living in other parts of the world, I can guide you, I can advise you to the best of the investments. That way, I don't keep any share. That way you can actually be better off when the time comes. And if the time doesn't come, you have something to invest for your future generations. And on that note, I will leave and I would say, take care of yourself, and inshallah, God willingly, that the situation in the world will be better. However, if it does change, then you'll be well prepared, because preparation is part of the deen and the part of Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.